Again, what a difference a couple of days makes as the Boston Bruins find themselves, I don't know about if we're going to say on a heater, but after getting throttled last week to the Ottawa Senators on October 27th, 7-2, they now have won 4 in a row after beating the New York Islanders in a shootout on the island. A game that I thought got better and better, even though the Bruins played well in the first period, Razor. I thought it got more entertaining. Maybe that's the way to put it as the game went on. Welcome into Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. The Bruins are now 5-1 in their last 6 games, 4-0 in their last 4. Can you believe it, Razor? Welcome back from Rochester, by the way. Can you believe it?
It's great to be back. Watching the game tonight, I can believe it. They're solid. They're structured. They're 5-1 in their last 6, and they're 5-1 when Hampus Lindholm's in the lineup. And we'll just we're just going to keep going back to that. It's such a game changer. It really is such a game changer. But I agree with you full-heartedly with your analysis of tonight, where it was actually a perfect first road period for the Bruins. Like, tremendous. Couldn't have been better. Just tremendous. So perfect. Yeah. Exactly what you would think that, like, Marco Sturm's so excited about the first period. He might just show them the video of that first period, right? Like, that's what he wants the next.
That's 200 hockey porn. That's hockey porn for him. That's
210 periods to go exactly like that. Like, we're good if we do that. That was perfect for him. Fortunately for us, it got a little entertaining in the latter half of the game, but just great resiliency, and down 3 times, shootout, penalty kill at the end. It was they're not out of it yet.
8-7. They're back over 500. Imagine that.
And I guess the big thing, like the happiness or the exciting part of it should, for all of us watching, should be, because literally a week ago, after the first period, they played against the Islanders, coming off of that 7-2 loss. I texted you and we talked on this show.
Yeah.
After how, like, I was down, like, that's as negative as I've been, even probably through last season. I was like, oh my God, are we doing this?
Because you felt we were going to go through another season like that.
Yeah, it really looked like that to me at the end of the first. Like, no one knew where they were going. It was still trying to figure out where to go in the defensive zone. So amazing what this league is doing right now with the condensed schedule. 7 days is just night and day.
So last we talked, you were Razor in Rochester. How did that end up, by the way? You were up there with Evie, and we talked Saturday morning on Saturday Morning Brew on DEI. How did that go? I heard you were 1-1 after the first day. How did it end
up? They ended up, so along tournament kind of had a bad setup. So the girls had a great weekend. They ended up winning, but it was kind of like the B group, because they split into 2 separate quarterfinals. And they weren't in the division winners, but we had to play all the way through Sunday. So it kind of felt brutal, but they got a medal and they played really hard and they had so much fun at Halloween and the whole thing. So
fathers all survived the trip.
Yeah. Fortunately, we almost lost a couple of guys, especially because the game got the second game on Sunday that didn't really mean anything for the finals was being played, and we were trying to find loopholes to, like, let's get home because it's time to go home now. So that was kind of like the bad thing, I guess, for everybody. But we did it, and the dad survived.
Oh, they survived. Good. Yeah. So all right, we talked before the Carolina game. They ended up beating Carolina 2-1. And what I would agree with what other people thought as well is that it was their most complete effort of the season, most systematically strong effort of the season. And I don't care. I mean, the Bruins, we know, are losing Elias Lindholm. All right, he's out. But and so you say, well, Carolina was missing Jacob Slavin, Keandre Miller, and Shane Gostisbehere. All big, all important, no question. But it's part and parcel the storyline of every season. You got to deal with the injuries. The Bruins came through with what I called a very robust effort in that game. And it was 0-0 heading into the third period. And, Middlestead ends up scoring, and they're getting him up, and then they get to a 2-0 lead in that game. Victor Arvidsson. I mean, we're going to talk about Victor right here, Razor, because in a second, because he's been getting going, just like that whole second line. And then they hold on. It's not by the skin of their teeth. I mean, Carolina gets a goal. They get a goal with about 3 minutes or so remaining in the game, but it never felt bad. It never felt like, oh no, it's over. It's like, you knew, that feeling of, they're going to get tied up, right? It didn't feel that way. So I give them a lot of credit. Then they go into the island, or onto the island, and they take on a New York Islander team that I think thought about a week ago when the Bruins were 5 goals in a row against them. And it's, look, the Bruins came out, and you said the first period was just tactically so sound. I mean, their back check, their stick on ice, and then their transition game, I thought, was excellent as well. And point I'm making here is they're not doing it against nobodies. Everybody in the East is basically 500 or above. They're doing it, and they're doing it in games that feel like they have a little purpose, especially for early season type games.
Yeah, so the Carolina has purpose because Carolina's, if not the best, one of the top 2 or 3 best teams in the conference.
Even without those guys.
Even without those guys. And when they get them, then they're a cup contender. And the Islanders are these Islander games, these are for the wild card 1 and 2. That's what you're going into these games thinking, like, we have to beat this team to be able to get into the playoffs. If we don't win these games, we're not getting in the playoffs. And so 2 different purposes, but nonetheless very important purposes, and they come through with flying colors.
It's been a real nice balance of scoring, of depth scoring, right? You're seeing the Arvidssons, the Zakas, the Middlestead, Kastelik coming through, Khusnutdinov picking up stuff. Like, you're seeing that. You're seeing the power play perform. You're seeing the penalty kill still do very well, especially, again, coming off of that debacle in Ottawa. I mean, again, in just a short week, it's like you go from the sky is falling to, okay, not bad. It's still a grind team, but at least it feels like they have an understanding of not just what Marco Sturm wants, but I kind of feel like, Razor, they know more of what they are now. You can talk the game and say, this is what we are, but now they're almost playing to that identity a bit more. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree with that. And just to go back just quickly on the grind point, we already talked about the whole league's a grind point.
Yeah.
And that suits them as well. Like, no one is running away with it in this Eastern Conference. Even Montreal, who's leading the division, like, nobody right now, or at least in the next couple of weeks from now, is going to be gone. So the conference is a grind fest, which leads into advantage Bruins. And then for whatever, I'm so curious if a light bulb went off, what it was, because it does feel like they're not in between. We have man on man. Okay, that's man on man. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to get in between. My switch offs are better. Just the simplest of details seem to be cleaned up in a matter of 6 or 7 days.
I agree with you. I think a few of the things that were emphasized were more so about, like, guys, we understand we're going to get into man-to-man. I'm using that as an example, defensive zone coverage. We're going to get into it, okay? And it's absolutely something that we've got to be able to deal with, okay? We got the first, right? We got a Razor yawn count, number 1. If you're listening,
by the way, I held that a little bit. I didn't let her rip.
He tried to stifle it. He tried. All right, we're at 1. But I think the message started being, let's kill plays better deep in our zone and not let them ride the wave up, or, reload, come up top to force us into a man-to-man. Let's minimize that by killing plays more deep in our zone. Let's see if it continues that way. I think they did a really good job against Carolina in that regard, structured up. You know, they always outnumbered Carolina, especially from half wall down or from the middle of the circle down into the corner. Doing a good job there. And then I thought in this game, regularly protected middle of the ice much, much better. You know, you could sit here and say the Islanders are very similar to the Bruins and that they don't really have high-end guys. I mean, they got a couple, right? But I'll tell you what they do have. They have two Bruin killers in Kyle Palmieri and Bo Horvat. Holy shit, do those guys score? I mean, tonight Horvat had 2 goals. For sure thought he was scoring in the shootout, and he hit the post. For sure, it was. If I could put money down on it, I would have put it and said he's scoring right there. He kills the Bruins. But they got a couple of guys, and Barzell, throw that in the mix, and then of course Schaefer, who's going to be an all-world player. If this can't be
tonight.
This can't be a flash in the pan, is it? For this
No,
kid?
that was impressive tonight. The way he skates, the way how confident he is to make plays at the end of games and get himself in the mix and not passing up shots. Yeah, he's special.
What did I know? Because Razor tonight, folks, worked the alt cast at Nesson with Bergie and Tuca, who were having a good time. Guys were having a Coors banquet. What did Bergie have anything to say about Schaefer? Did he? You know, because I love his comments. You know, Bergie's kind of that quiet, you know, whatever, and then boom, he comes out with something.
Yeah, Bergie. Like Tukes and I were talking about it, just how like he's on like 4 levels above us, right? With hockey, like I know like some things to pick on and like ask him, but I wish I knew more that was going on in his head, like to really ask him like the right question. It's like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And a few times he's like, "Whoa, the kid can skate. Whoa, whoa, oh." Yeah, and you know his wheels are turning, like he's gonna dig into that a little bit more. He hadn't seen a lot of them, but he was impressed.
Matthew Schaefer sees the game and thinks the game, I think, on a Bergeron level. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying he's Patrice Bergeron. In fact, no, he's a defenseman who can skate like the wind and he does different things. And it's you know, stylistically and positionally and skill set. But what I'm talking about is thinking the game ahead. He has a vision ahead. He has awareness. He has and it's those special players like a Patrice Bergeron that I know it's a strong statement for an 18-year-old who's played 12 games or whatever it is in the NHL, but he's got it. He's got it.
He's got it. Whatever it is, he does have it.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of having it, well, there's a couple of places we could really go with it, but that second line, Zacha, right? Arvidsson, Middlestat, a significant difference regularly. Was it 4-5 games in a row? Putting up points outside and making a difference in so many ways. I thought the Islander games Tuesday night was, I'm going to say, I think it was Arvidsson's best game. And I think you can kind of say the last few games, hey, that was Arvidsson's best game. Hey, that was Arvidsson's best game. I mean, I think he had 6 shots, a couple of other attempts. He had a great goal against Freddie Anderson on Saturday against Carolina. But I still think that this game perhaps was even better, the Islander game. It seems like, again, a more confident player, a player who's not getting bumped off the puck as much. He seems to be anticipating better. I don't know. Maybe it's just also having Zacha in the middle, the maestro in the middle, and helping that out. And Middlestat, to his credit, has really elevated his compete level so far recently, and his wall play as a winger has to be better, but it's been real good. It has been an incredible, real like kind of metamorphosis for these guys, and it's made a difference for this team because, you know, Pasta and Geeky, I didn't really notice Geeky much against the Islanders Razor. I just didn't in that game, but yet that's okay because the other guys were stepping up.
No question. These guys need to get a lot of credit here for this 4-game run. Arvidsson's got points in 6 of his last 8. You talk about him feeling it. Hadn't played over 16 minutes up until the last couple of games. He's at 16 and a half, 18 and a half tonight, 18 and a half minutes tonight for Victor Arvidsson. That's telling on where he's at and what the coaches think of him, because again, he's had games where he was playing 11 and 10 and a half. So just a huge adjustment by him. I think, like you said, all of this leads back to two things. Middlestat getting healthy scratched and his response from that. He deserves a lot of credit from that. And moving Zach to the middle. And Marco Sturm was knew right from the start that Pavel Zacha was a centerman, and I think they tried to force Casey Middlestat in the center, and we found out that Fraser Minton, I guess you can give him a lot of credit too, to allow them to work with this and not worry about the third line center, and which was again up in the air for a little while. So it's all kind of fallen into place, but a lot of it, Arvidsson's success goes to Middlestat jumping out and taking the healthy scratch like a true pro, and Pavel Zacha moving to the middle of the ice, and that just seems to set everybody up properly.
I didn't want to jump to that yet, but since you brought up healthy scratch, I think it's an appropriate transition to Mason Lohrei, who's now been out for 4 games in a row. Jonathan Aspero has played pretty well. Solid, right?
Yep.
Third pair, more gets his role, understands the old less is more. I'd say for the most part, he has been very clean with his game. 15, I think it was, 13, 14 something minutes tonight. The coaches shortened the bench, both defensive pairs and offensively. By the way, for the third period, last half of the third period, it was 3 lines. You didn't see, you didn't see AC Mont, you didn't see Beecher, you didn't see Janot. There was
and just to that, like, great call by Marco Sturm putting that line together of Minton, Pasta, and Husdinov that ties the game. Like he like that's a random, but whatever he saw, whatever he felt, he went with it, and they paid it off.
Yeah, what he did is he kept the second line together because they had played. They're the best line by
Rightly
far.
So, yeah. And
so then he mixes up, we'll call it the first and third line. It was he cobbled together using Corrali from the fourth line, and he found 3 lines the last 9 minutes, 10 minutes or so that were really good, and it culminates in the Husdinov goal to tie it up. But I agree with you. Good coaching. Great coaching move too, by the way. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but putting Husdinov out there in the shootout. He had never taken a shootout attempt in his 3-4 years in the National Hockey League, and or parts of 3-4 years. And looked just fine. I mean, you can see the coaches on the bench, going back and forth. They put their hands over their mouth, like they're talking about something real important. Like, who do we put out in the shootout? Well, who do we think's going to score? Like, they don't want their mouth. Like, all of a sudden, somebody from the New York Islanders locker room is going to say, "Okay, they're sending Khusnutdinov out there." Actually, the guy, the video guy, probably like, I can't pronounce his name, but he's going out.
Like a long name, so
the guy with the K name is starting. It's funny. Baseball started that. Like, could you ever imagine being around there and with baseball, like how putting the glove over the mouth? Did you ever do that?
No, of course not. Yeah, you got me. No, of course not. Like, what am I going to say that is going to affect, like, that someone needs to know about? No.
I know. We should do a morning brew. You put this over here.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that for my yawns.
That's right. So anyways, good call by them putting Husdinov out there. And you know what? You go with the hot hand. That's what you do a lot with the shootout. He looked great there. He did.
He's having a good week. He's feeling it. And I'm going to take you all the way back because we were talking Mason Lohrei. So hot hand, etc. I sidetracked you back to Lohrei with all of these things that everybody else has had a good week. He hasn't, but he's got to learn. Like, Middlestat's the example. He's a perfect example for you.
Okay. With that said, now, are you okay? You got Ottawa coming in on Thursday night. It feels like, to me, an opportunity to put him back in the lineup. It's hard to do because Jonathan Aspero has done nothing wrong to be taken out. Are we at the point, though, where you don't want to risk, I know losing sounds like a strong word, but you know what I mean? Like, Is it getting a little bit now to that point of, okay, it's been time. We're going to give you this opportunity to come back in, and you're coming in against a good team. But wouldn't you rather do that than wait? Let's say you don't win on Thursday, and then you got Toronto, and you're going into TO. Wouldn't I mean? Am I overthinking it, Razor?
I think you might be overthinking it, just in the fact that, I mean, what I don't think the Bruins are going to rattle off 10 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But if they did, that'd be a good thing too, I guess. So I just think that you get a little superstitious at this point too, with 4 wins, where, and that's not the right word, but it's the best way to explain it, is that you just don't want to change lineups up that are winning. And we talked about the margin of this, but the flip side of this is, I think more of the key to them winning isn't that lower, and maybe they explain this, this can be the conversation, is Lowry being out isn't because they're winning, it's because Lindholm's in. And I think that if you could put Lowry in and you put him on the third pair and you play him 15 minutes like Aspro, and you just kind of put him in and out, then it probably looks pretty much the same, and you might even get a little offense on that second line too.
I would agree. I do wonder though, and again, I'm contradicting myself, I think maybe you put him back in, but Aspero's stability helps that third pair.
It does. And it helps.
That's the caveat. That's the one thing.
I know. And
but maybe Lowry's seeing that. Maybe he's saying that's what I need to do for now. Stabilize my game and then help stabilize, that pair, whatever pair I'm on. He'll be out there with Jokiharju. You're not going to change the other 2 pairs.
No, you're not. And no matter what, whether he's playing next game or the game after, if he hasn't understand that he needs to be stable through all of this, then we're doing a whole nother show.
Right.
That has to be loud and clear. It has to be loud and clear that, oh, okay, this is how you play it. Like, for me, and that's the great thing with Aspero playing well too, by the way.
Yeah.
This makes organizations stronger. When you can call a guy up and win 4 in a row, like, this is what good organizations do. This is what the Bruins have always done.
Let's give out a spark of the last, I don't know. You want to do the last 2 games or so? Spark or I mean, there's a couple of players. You already brought up the importance of Lindholm back, but he's played more than 2. But what about, could we give it to Swayman, who has been a spark for the Bruins the last 2, played the last 2 after sitting out for a couple? Speaking of sitting out, being not scratched, but not starting. Would you be comfortable giving it to Sway?
Yeah, there's no question. He's been big. He was really good against Carolina. Tonight this is like an NHL game now. We did, like Tuke said that. He's like, this used to be a 2-2-1-1 game. Now the new NHL, this is a 3-3 game. 3-on-32 is like the old 2-on-27.
Right.
It's just what it is. That's how the league is built. And Sway came up big, and then he's struggled on shootouts, he's struggled on breakaways, but he went 3 for 3 tonight. And that's, for me, that was the big takeaway, is how solid he was on the shootouts.
Well, and again, what did Jerry Cheevers used to say? If you hit the post, that means I was in good position.
That's right.
All right. So we'll give our spark of the games, plural, on this Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor to Jeremy Swayman, who's won his last 2 games. So Sparks Hockey, go to sparkshockey.com and check out their great deals they have. They're offering $100 off bundles, and they also now have custom NHL sharpeners available. They're also the preferred at-home sharpener of the NHL. Sparkshockey.com. I'm completely, inadvertently, unintentionally selling the shit out of our stuff. I don't know if you see the Sparks sweatshirt I've got.
Love it.
Okay. And I'm also right now legitimately drinking a Sunset Lake lifted tea. I've got an early morning wake up coming, Razor. I got the 6 a.m. wake up on the ice at 7, and I needed a little something to help, settle down. So am I going to go take a sleep gummy or whatever? And I said, you know what? I'm going to go with the lifted tea. I know how much you like them. I love this, especially I just like the original iced tea the most. Yeah. I mean, they've also got the mint, but these things are They're great. They're easy drinking. These lifted teas, it's just their twist on their take on a classic iced tea. It doesn't take much to just mellow you out. And it doesn't, you always said not too heavy. And I'd already had a few of them, but I'm like, I'm having one tonight. I'm absolutely having one. It's a good night to do it. And it's a booze-free buzz. I don't even know if I'm going to get buzzed per se, but it's just this perfect non-alcoholic drink. So check out sunsetlakecbd.com. Use the code BREW20, BREW20, and you can get 20% off lifted teas or all of their other great products. CBD ointments, again, sleep stuff. Razor's a fan of the lifted teas, as am I. I absolutely love their sleep gummy stuff. I do. So how are you doing on your inventory? You need any more, or are you okay?
I'm not bad. It's funny you say that, actually. I think I have a jar of the sleep left. So that'll be okay a little bit, but I don't have it. The teas, they're long gone. The teas,
Okay.
the teas did.
All right. Well, we're gonna get Cy and Rev. We'll get Razor some teas. Get more of those there. Check out sunsetlakecbd.com. Use the code BREW20. How did your visit to Copeland Toyota go, or Copeland Automotive Group? I don't.
Oh yeah, we got a new rig. We've
did.
Oh yeah, the best. Max down at Brockton. Guys are awesome. As easy as peasy gets, and then the big man sends a text at the end and the whole thing. So no, it was great. So we got it switched out. Everybody's happy, and I've got
What'd you get?
Car. Same, exactly. You wouldn't even know that. Just a new. Oh, it's another Tahoe. We've got the twins are 12, turning 13. So we figure we got 4 years left again, and then we'll move on from there. So
all right, check out the Copeland Automotive Group. Go to countoncopeland.com for details. Todd's got 5 dealerships now. He's got the Toyota, right? And he's got the Chevy. He's got 3 Chevy dealers, all right? And he's got a Subaru. So folks, if you want a great car, if you want to have a great car buying experience, or even a new or used, and if you want to, maybe if Todd's there, he'll talk hockey with you. He will.
Anybody will talk
never
hockey.
Hold back.
No, everybody will talk hockey. So if you're even thinking about it, go down, check out any of the dealerships. They all talk the Bruins, and you can get a coffee and a water out of it.
Countoncopeland.com. And lastly, I'm wearing the Fazenda hat, snazzy new hat from them.
Nice.
FazendaCoffee.com, the best coffee around. Marco Sturm and the coaching staff got their Fazenda coffee, their morning brew blend. Marco, big into espresso roast, loves his espresso, very European. And the morning brew blend has an espresso bean in it. It's a strong but smooth coffee. Check out everything that they've got, whether you want dark roast, light roast, whatever, or you want morning brew stuff. Go to Fazenda Coffee, FAZENDA.com/morning brew. We thank all of our sponsors. All right, back to the Bruins. What have you liked about? We brought about Swayman being a spark. What have you liked about his game the last couple?
Well, more than anything, it's just him grinding out last week. In Ottawa, you give up 7. You don't. No one plays good. Not really your fault, but you don't play good. You give up 7 goals, so you're not good. And then you have to watch Korpisalo win 2 games, and now Saturday has a lot of stress on it. And personally, you're going up against a great Carolina team. The other guys won 2. I just gave up 7. Okay, I need to find my game, and he does so. And then he backs it up with a really solid effort. And I think tonight, again, I didn't fine tooth comb Saturday, but watching tonight, it seemed very repeatable. I didn't think he did anything tonight, which makes me feel good, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he didn't, nothing crazy happened. He was just good. He was just there. I didn't think about him at all tonight, which that just for him, but also for the team, I think is a really real good positive that he bounced through last week, grinded it out, got the win in Carolina. And then tonight it was just, he just won. That's it. He just won. So good spot.
Have you been as pleasantly surprised with the ability or ascension of Marat Khusnutdinov the last couple. I'm not saying I didn't think he could do it. I had no idea if I really thought he could do it, though. I that being moving up in the lineup. Is it a couple of games? Is this something more? I mean, look, he always wanted more of an opportunity when he was with Minnie, and they did not believe in him as much. You could tell by how he played mostly center with the Wild, but it was fourth line always, never moving up the lineup. Is this a flash? Is this, hey, I'm really a skilled guy that was put in as a fourth liner because that's all they felt that I was? And I got to tell you something. The confidence of this kid, it is anything but, there's no cockiness that I see whatsoever. This is almost like a, not aw shucks, but it's a, yeah, I mean, I feel good. I'm playing, I'm getting the opportunity. I want to show what I can do. I just feel like his comfort level here is very high. Maybe it helps having Zadorov around, who he's become really good friends with, that type of thing. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just getting ice time, but I would think I got to give the kid props, because I was like, I'm not sure if he can handle this. And I know it's just a couple of games, partner, but it's been damn good. He's really been good.
Well, no, that's a heck of a goal tonight.
Yeah.
Like, he could have easily pounded that into pads or got taken out. Like that's a heck of a finish to find through that traffic and go to your backhand. Yeah, so he doesn't have to drive the line. David drives the first line, no matter who he is. Lindholm, whoever else. It's David's line. But he hung and he kept up with David, and he's done that a few times now in a row. And then when you score a goal like that, not only does it give you a little bit of confidence to then do it in the shootout, but it gives David a lot of confidence. It gives Geeky a lot of confidence that, hey, we put this guy in, I can put this guy, the puck in this guy's in his solar system, and he's going to make a play with it. He's going to find a way to do something and pay it off. So it's far from a full Picasso, but it's a really good start. And I was curious if you don't want to be the black hole, right? Like you want to get through, and he has to be responsible, and he has to cover some things up, and he wants to help guys out, but you also can't have the puck come to you and have it explode on your stick every time. And that's probably surprised me more than what I thought. And that's a great thing.
I'm going to tell you, his speed helps make that line faster, and it's a different feel. I'm not saying it's better than when Lindholm's there. I'm saying it gives it gives the line a motor that it didn't have. Like, he's on to puck retrievals more. He gets things back. He, like, that was part of the goal, the game-winning goal, about how they worked it and they got on it. And he was excellent. You said he could have lost it, but he got himself back to the front of the net after Mitten's shot kind of didn't go there. And it was great. So I'm impressed by the kid. I am thoroughly impressed with his confidence to learn English and his charisma to step out and seek out almost interviews, in the sense of, yes, he's putting himself out there without an interpreter. It's awesome. I got to give him a ton of credit. I didn't know him at all before he got traded here with regard to personality or whatever. I'm impressed by him, and good for him. What do you think of Nikita Zadorov giving it to Schaefer? Just a couple of more things before we wrap up this one. I think, you tell me so Barry and I thought it may have not been, I don't know if he sought out Schaefer, but I think he saw the chance when it was him, and it happened just a few minutes after Geeky had gotten hit hard by Mayfield. Now, I don't know if Nikita was sitting there saying, you did this, but he's saying, look, you're going to hit one of our better guys. I'm going to hit him. Or do you think it was just Nikita being Nikita? I had no problem with those penalties that he got. Thoroughly deserved, but thoroughly fine. Hey, this is what I'm going to be in this moment.
Yeah, for sure. And it kind of lined up perfect that Schaefer kind of went back at him too, which is good. You go, which good for him, but also, okay, if I'm a 32-year-old guy who's 6'8" and been in the league for a long time, and the 18-year-old kid comes back to me, like, this is good. This is a green light for me. This is full on green light. I get to, So yeah, that's part of the league. That those nuanced plays, those nuanced situations, that's an old guy teaching a young guy a little bit of respect. So I
That was
have
great.
I had no problem with it. I liked it. I liked it on both sides. I liked it on the Islanders jumping in and like the whole that's what our game is.
Yes.
I loved all of it.
I think it's a great point. Yeah, I agree with you. And if Nikita did have any momentary thought of, you know what, hey, Geeks got hit, and it was a clean hit, got hit hard, all that by Mayfield, but you're going to hit our guy. I'm going to go. That's what you did. You said you're going to go after one of our betters. We're going to go after one of yours. I mean, that's just the way it is. So if that was even in the thought process, fine. The last thing I got is Charlie McAvoy's best stretch of the season the last couple of games, by far. Is it because of his partner, you think? Is it because of playing with Nikita Zadorov?
And it's because Lindholm's back too.
And Lindholm. Okay.
Yeah, that's a direct correlation to both of those things. It allows Charlie to be Charlie. It allows him not to take as many defensive zone faceoffs. It allows him to be more physical because he doesn't have to play defense, or he's, again, how many times do we see where him and Lower weren't communicating, like were misunderstood, right? And he was in between. So now you're in between all the time, and now he's playing free again for both Zadorov and Lindholm. So there's no, Charlie's a great player no matter what, but great players still need people around them. And when those guys are on the back end with him, he's just a better player. I think it's both those things.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's been noticeable.
Very noticeable.
It's more reactionary, instinctive instead of thinking out there. And overthinking gets every player in trouble, but I think it was really getting the D in trouble. So, all right. Anything else that I've missed that is pertinent that we get? Anything that was brought up by you guys?
No, we're just enjoying 4 wins in a row and a tight Eastern Conference, and we touched on a lot of the stuff that was our show tonight. It was a lot of you just talked about.
So Thursday, folks, we're gonna see Ottawa again at TD Garden this time, and we are going to do a show of Full Brew after that one as well. So I think we'll have maybe more of a specific show about that game, because we just kind of went over the last two and everything. So, but we're going to get another show in, and then Saturdays, we're back 8 to 9 live on WEEI in Boston. You can use the app and get it anywhere around the world. Last week we had somebody listening from Argentina.
Love it.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that's going great. Razor's going to be on the road though this weekend. So you're hitting the road going to
you're going to make me get up early on the road.
I am going
but I'm doing it. I'm going to do it.
Yes, you are.
And it's in Toronto too.
Well, go out early on Thursday, on Friday.
I'll be there at 7:59.
That's okay. That's okay. I can BS for
you
long
can take
enough.
the opening. Yeah.
Yes.
No. I'll be good. I'll be ready. I got pregame skate anyways.
All right. So we'll do that. So anyways, all right. Bruins win again. They beat the Islanders in a shootout 4-3. They've now 4 in a row, 5 of 6. Looking good, feeling better. Let's see if they can get back at the Ottawa Senators. A little payback would be nice. A little purpose, no doubt, to this game. All right, everybody, keep it up. Razor had 3 yawns in this one. Make it 4. He just did the 4th right at the end right there. RC, thanks for everything, buddy. This morning brew with Jaffe and Razor. Everybody, enjoy your coffee.